and he's back at it.
Again, it's the same guy? What the fuck? How does he keep getting away with this?
Vault-Tec, they can't keep getting away with it. With the Fallout show on Amazon being all the rage right now, still have not finished it. But I've been a lifelong Fallout. I would say lifelong. I've been a Fallout fan for a long time.
I've been playing that shit since I was a toddler, man.
I got the Pip-Boy right behind me there. For this feature here, I want to talk about 3 of Fallout's most disturbing vaults.
Oh, okay. We're getting into a little bit of lore.
A little bit of lore here. So how familiar are you with the Fallout lore?
So I'm familiar with it on a surface level. I played a couple of the games. I never beat any of them.
Okay.
And I have read the Wikipedia, like the fandom wiki. I've read a lot of like general stuff on there just because like it's interesting. So, my knowledge is surface level.
Okay, good. Well, this will be a good educational portion for you. Yeah, we can continue to call ourselves an educational comedy podcast.
I'm learning something new, so like it counts.
Yes. So let's start off with Vault 112. This is from Fallout 3. Very important vault in the story. And considering you never beat the game, you may have never even come across this vault. But maybe it'll ring some bells. So
maybe.
This one, it was overseen by the German doctor Stanislaus Braun, a.k.a. Betty. We'll get to that.
Oh, nice.
It housed 85 occupants. And during the time these people would spend in the vaults, they would be suspended in virtual reality. So the selling point of this vault was, hey, you don't got to wait out the apocalypse like everyone else, living in an underground series of tubes. You get to go into a VR fantasy world and live out a much better quality of life. But as you may or may not know, the vaults were not as they seem, and they were home to a bunch of social and medical experiments.
Yes.
Dr. Braun here, unbeknownst to the other residents of the vaults, was actually a bit of a sadistic freak. So, once everybody was inside the simulation, he hopped in there and he used this simulated reality as a means of basically tormenting everybody else for all eternity.
What the fuck?
So, he's like the only sentient one, of course. Like, he's the only one who knows that it is a simulation. And because of that, he gets to fuck around and do whatever he wants to these people.
Oh, shit. Okay, so these people are like, oh, fuck, VR instead of just waiting out the apocalypse. Sign me up. But then when they get in, they don't know that they're in VR?
Right.
That's fucked, dude. Because I was about to, because when you were sort of describing this situation to me, I was kind of like going through the process of like, well, if they're suspended in VR, that's better than what waits outside for them. But I feel like I'm going to retract that thought incredibly soon.
Right. So when you get there, the ongoing simulation is Tranquility Lane, and that's like a 1940s cul-de-sac. It is just like perfect and ideal. And, everyone's living out their wonderful little lives. And you as the player character, you show up looking for your dad. And you hop yourself into this simulation. And you meet a little girl named Betty. Turns out Betty's got a little bit of a sadistic side. And, she starts egging you on to just start pranking people, just ruining their lives. It's a simulation, bro. We can do whatever we want here. And eventually you go on a killing spree and you end up murdering all the other residents.
What the fuck? Why? Why would you agree to that?
Anything for answers, right? You're looking for your dad here. He's in here somewhere. You got to play along. Because this, Betty seems to know what's going on here.
Betty seems to be in the know here.
And of course,
I'm
Betty...
listen to this child.
Of course, Betty is Dr. Braun, who, weird move, taking a little girl's form in VR.
I was about to say, that's got to mean something, right? I understand going into like VR chat and picking like the anime girl avatar or like the Kermit the Frog avatar. That's fine. But like, we're talking like a hyper realistic, like you think it's real sort of thing. The one person who knows it's real is like, yep, that's what I want to be.
Now's my time to be a little girl.
That's like, I don't know what it means, but it's got to mean something. Like that's got to point towards something maybe a little more dubious in nature.
So basically, Dr. Brom's been using this time in simulation to fuck with everybody, murder them over and over again. He wipes their memories and murders them again. And it's just, he gets to spend all the time underground, just living it up down there on a murderous rampage, fulfilling all of his sadistic desires.
That's gotta get boring at some point, right? It's like you torture and kill people for like a decade, like 10 fucking years. Like you spend torturing and killing people in your little fucking like little simulator. Like that's gotta, at some point you've gotta like stop. Like you don't get as much enjoyment from like putting the whoopee cushion on the chair. At some point the person opens the door and the bucket of water falls on their head and it does nothing for you.
Well, who knows? I mean, this simulation has presumably been refreshed and it's been different things at different times. And maybe there were times where he just let the simulation live out for, a couple years.
Dude, I would get bored of it.
You're clearly not sadistic enough.
I mean, I guess not. I guess maybe that's why he's the little girl in charge and I'm not.
So basically, this quest line ends with you finding your dad. He's in the body of a dog.
Okay.
And you bust him out of there and you trap Dr. Brom inside his own simulation all alone for presumably until his body decays. So he got his comeuppance there.
Imagine everybody is in the simulation and for some reason, like you're the dog. Like why me specifically? Everyone else gets to be like beautiful, beautiful people living out on the blissful cul-de-sac, but I have to be the fucking dog.
But I don't remember exactly, but I don't think he even knows that he's a human. He just believes that he's a dog.
I guess I wouldn't care too much then. I guess I'd be like, yeah, business as usual. I'm a dog.
But I don't recall. Maybe he does remember he's human. He's trying to communicate with you. It's been a while since I played this mission. But anyway, just one of the 3 disturbing vaults we got going here.
That is pretty disturbing, I'm not going to lie.
But it gets worse. I think the next 2 are much worse.
All right.
Next up, we have Vault 75. This is from Fallout 4. This is located underneath the Malden Middle School. This vault was presented as a safe place for the attending children. And that's never a good sign. As they stepped inside, the children found themselves swiftly parted from their families and guided to the atrium, while security personnel proceeded to eliminate the adults. Vault 75 concealed its real agenda, the manipulation and enhancement of human genetics through techniques like selective breeding, genetic alteration, and hormonal interventions, all orchestrated by that nasty man, Dr. Brom. Again, he's back at it.
Again, it's the same guy? What the fuck? How does he keep getting away with this?
Vault-Tec, they can't keep getting away with it. He was probably their employee of the month.
Oh no, dude, yeah, he was raking in so much like data profit for them.
Yeah, every staff meeting he was coming up with another sadistic idea and they're like, that's why we pay him the big bucks.
Yeah, everyone else is like kind of like jealous. Like he's like, "Oh, dude, fucking didn't you hear Braun trapped a bunch of people in an eternal damnation simulator and that vault in Vault 112. Fuck you do in your vault? Yeah, you pumped in gas that like prevents him from sleeping. Oh wow, fucking cool, dude. Yeah,
so original.
Dude, Braun fucking turned their skin inside out. Like,
so basically, they draw in all the kids. All right, they kill their parents, and now the kids have to be educated. And
oh wow, I'm sure that is a well-intentioned thing.
Yes, this is under a school. So the kids are taught to fear up top land, aka the wasteland. And they go through rigorous training and education and biologic manipulation to basically weed out all the weak ones and create like a strong breed of adults or graduates to ascend to the up top land. You go through all this torture in a way and training and brainwashing. And eventually you graduate. And that's when they determine, well, are you exceptional or are we going to kill you and incinerate you?
Well, that's no fun.
So
there's really the only 2 options. There's no like third I'm just kind of okay option.
Well, there is. The I'm just kind of okay if you're smart, but not physically strong. you get to join the science team.
Nice.
Either that or they incinerate you. The weak, they just, they're gone. Forget them. The strong ones, they're led to believe that when you graduate, you get to go back up and repopulate the earth because you're strong now. But nah, they kill you too. And they harvest your organs. And they collect samples and stuff. And
that's a really long process for a couple organs. I'm not going to lie. Most of the organs got to be like fine. I mean, do you really need like a master race? Like everybody?
The world's been destroyed. The whole world is on pause, basically.
Yeah, we can't be affording to incinerate all these children.
At this point, now it's like science. We got to do some work down here in these vaults.
I'm just saying, the population of humans is pretty low at this point, considering that the Earth has been ravaged by nuclear warfare. Can we really afford to incinerate that many kids?
Like, well, selective breeding also exists here. They pair up the strong ones with the other strong ones. They make strong kids, presumably.
For every kid you throw in an incinerator, that's one kid that's not like window washing.
Oh, that's one kid you have to no longer support and feed.
That is true. Knowing Braun, I'm sure he was having the kids eat each other. Braun was like, "Oh, dude, we're low on rations. Dude, fire up the incinerator to 450 Fahrenheit.
Eat the weak." All right, lastly, we have the most disturbing vault of all.
I'm so ready. I love disturbing video game shit. I love the fucked up, detailed, dark lore of a game that I haven't and will never play. Dude, I lose sleep like reading fandom wiki articles for games that I've never fucking heard of, dude.
Let's take a look at Vault 11. This one's from Fallout New Vegas, probably the best Fallout game. The residents of Vault 11 were subjected to a cruel social experiment. After the blast doors sealed, the inhabitants were informed by the Vault computer they would have to sacrifice one of their fellow Vault dwellers every year, or else everyone dies.
Oh, a classic. This is a classic social experiment. We did this in my high school science class.
You sacrifice somebody every year?
Yeah. So no, it was once a month because you know how school years go. It was AP Psychology. And AP Psychology, our teacher sat us down at the beginning of the semester and said, once a month, you guys gotta kill somebody. And it taught me a lot, honestly. I mean, I aced the AP Psych exam. I fucking, it was a breeze after that shit.
Yeah, because there was only 6 students left, right?
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, honestly, it was a very quiet, intimate environment in which we could learn.
Wow, school in West Virginia hits different, I guess.
Hey, dude, it's crazy out here, man. We have the top education programs.
So basically,
don't look that up.
So originally, they started with elections. Every year, they would elect an overseer. And then at the end of their term, they'd kill him. They would be the sacrifice. And you know what? That's how I think that U.S. presidential elections should work. I think you want to be president. Okay, you get 4 years, maybe 8 years, but after that, you get executed in a public square. That's just the price you pay for power. No more book tours.
I like this, but maybe...
After 16 years of voting for the next person to oversee and then die, voting blocks formed. With that kind of communal group power, they could sway the vote, of course, because the majority wins. A certain block could influence a certain person to be elected and therefore killed. So they would use that power to basically just murder people they didn't like or agree with.
That's kind of I guess, the entire fucking point of a social experiment. But no matter how big or small the sample size, if you essentially go to a group of people and say, hey, we're essentially going to have sort of a mock societal system, an order of hierarchy, and kind of democracy, at some point, that sense of democracy in that group is going to be sort of perverted. It's going to get bastardized.
Well, to be fair, they chose the system of sacrifice. Could have been random.
Oh, yeah, but it went from, hey, we're sacrifice one person a year to, hey, now we have what are essentially political parties influencing the murder of other people for our own gain.
And I neglected to mention that the first sacrifice was the original overseer. So I think that's where they got the idea from, because going in, he knew that somebody would have to die every year, and they didn't take too kindly to that. So-
yeah, they're like, okay, this guy fucking knew and let it happen to us. We'll kill him first.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why they settled on, well, now we need a new overseer, and we also need somebody to kill this time next year. So why not just
Yeah.
lump them together?
Let's kill two birds with one stone. And by that, I mean, let's kill the overseer.
So these voting blocks, they got their political power, and in a way they could choose who was elected and who would be chosen to be executed. So they threatened one Catherine Stone. They coerced her sexually and said, well, go along with this, otherwise we're going to nominate your husband. Well, she gave in, and they ended up nominating her husband anyway. So she struck back by, well, murdering all the members of the Justice Bloc.
No,
And that killed two birds with one stone, because now they're going to vote for her, right? She's a murderer.
yeah.
So she saved her husband, and now she's the overseer. And with
Yeah.
that power, she decided, hey, let's cut this whole democracy voting thing, and let's do a random lottery. And, well, that wasn't a very popular proposal at the time. So, and that led to all-out warfare, killing everybody except for
What the fuck?
5 people.
So she was like, hey, maybe we should do just a random lottery so there's no bias at all. And then they just fucking all murder each other. It's just everyone kills everyone.
Well, all the voting blocks were already established.
It kind of seems like a bit of a overreaction. They could have just been like, no, like we're going to keep doing it the way that we want to.
Well-
And she couldn't do anything to stop it.
She's
You
the
would've just killed
overseer,
her.
right?
Just kill her.
Well, they are going to kill her after her term is done.
I know, but I'm just saying if she's like, hey, let's stop the election of who we kill and let's just do lottery, why don't they just be like, no, instead of like, what are they
Well-
fucking stupid?
What about the people? Some people probably did want the election, and some people did want the lottery. And of
I
course,
know,
when you
but,
have two
I mean-
opposing sides, conflict will arise.
I mean, listen, she made a choice. She made like a decision, and like it led to everybody dying. Not a great look for her reelection.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you got a point there. So we got 5 remaining Vault Dwellers, and they decide, well, this war has gone on long enough. We'll tell the computer no one's going to die this year. And, basically that'll kill us all. It's suicide
Yeah,
in a way.
I think that's fair.
Because
Going out on your own terms.
Yeah, we deserve this at this point. And the computer says, hey, congratulations. You just beat the social experiment. Nobody has
Yeah.
to die. Not only that, but now the vault doors open and you are all free to go. Congratulations. And
That's fucking crazy.
that was a little disheartening to these remaining 5 people. And 4 of the 5 of them ended up going through with the suicide, leaving only one survivor. Their identity is unknown. And we haven't heard from him since. But somewhere out there,
What
there
the
is.
fuck?
Yeah.
You just got your free. They're like, you know what? I will kill myself because we're done with this system. We're fighting back. We would rather all of us die than choose one of us to die. And the computer goes, hey, congrats! You found the trick. You beat the game. You're all free to go, and you kill yourself anyways.
How would you feel, Mel, if you had participated in this murderous ruse, basically, your whole life?
Fucking euphoric. If I'm the guy that gets out, are you kidding me? Be the high of a lifetime, dude. I've gone through years
You,
of wondering if I'll be the one to be voted out and killed,
huh?
and then I get to be free. I get to go free into the world.
You've never
fucking kidding
experienced
me?
survivor's guilt, obviously.
Dude, I would be ecstatic. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, fuck all those guys. They were killing each other.
Well, Mel, clearly you were that one guy
Dude,
who
a
left.
woman stated her opinion, and they all killed each other.
Well, that wasn't so much of an
Nah.
opinion as an executive order, but
I
Yeah.
know, but they didn't have to listen to her. They outnumbered her.
Well, anyway.
All I'm gonna say is I walk right out those vault doors.
so needless to say, Mel is the lone survivor of Vault 11.
That's me. That's me. I was trying to keep it under wraps, but I can't hide it forever.
So who knows? Maybe that story will come back around. Maybe eventually we'll discover their identity and have some kind of quest line revolving around them, because that'd be interesting. But then again, sometimes it's kind of fun to leave it just open-ended like
Open-ended.
that.
I don't think everything needs to be explained.
Yeah. And, my retellings of these events, not great, but when you're playing the game and
I
you're
thought you did a
exploring...
fantastic. I was immersed. I thought you did a great job. I was so into that shit. Dude, the second this podcast is over, I'm pulling up the fandom wiki page.
So, I mean, it's a lot more interesting when you're in the vault in the aftermath of this and just you see the political posters on the wall, you're hearing logs of everything, putting the story together after the fact. You know, that's one of Bethesda's like strongest qualities.
Yeah, world building, bits and pieces.
Right, I love that shit.
Subscribe for more videos and shorts from The Long Couch. Follow the link in the description below to stream full episodes on Spotify. And keep up with Carl and Mel on Instagram and Twitter.